Hi, I'm Ineedmorcowbell. It is February 15th, 2022, and this is things that interested me this week. If you're like me, you took off Monday and you slept through the entire day and then are completely well rested and ready to tackle the next couple of days. Also, I didn't do one of these last week because I didn't really seem to find anything too interesting last week, and I just kind of got sidetracked. But this week I'm right here doing stuff now. Let's start off with my daily driver, PSO2 NGS, Fantasy Star Online New Genesis. First of many updates finally came out, and this one is a start in the right direction. Major start, major step in the right direction. Concerts. Nada is out here throwing down jazz and slow jam songs, which are enjoyable, and it's hilarious when everyone starts throwing out those freaking symbol arts. The only main problem is the noises, the sound effects the symbol arts come out with get to be obnoxious. So you got to go into the options and you got to turn all that stuff off, and you got to turn the UI off because people still text messages still pop up anyway. Anyways, there's also a rank 3 zone for Mount Magnus, which brings in the Megalotics and the elite enemies, and they seem to drop a couple of things. Unfortunately, they don't drop their nice pearlescent paint job. I would love that for my character, but that's okay. Mega Fuchsia is one of the items, which is a cap. I don't remember what like the cap is specifically, because I've seen some people like put that on their on their gear, which is a little odd, because the main use for those is do a fuse, because you can fuse in certain 3-stat items together. The one people really like the most seem to be Def Fuse, which is Deafness 3 and an Attack Stat 3. So like Might 3, Tech 3, Range 3. And what that does is it'll make it go from just Might 3, for example, is 2+ potency. But Deafness or Deft Might turns it into a 2+ potency and 2+ potency on the floor. Potency floor. But the only downside is that you can't combine them. You can only have your attack stat 3, your might 3 cap, or the death might cap. You can't put the two together. And with the introduction of limit breaking all of the gear, so now you can enhance it up to level 50, which also opens up a 5th slot for caps. It would have been great addition if, say, because I mean most of the people already have a full set of gear, 4-slot gear, full of caps, perfect caps. So it's like, you know what? Let me just open up that extra slot, put in Def Fuse 3 in there or whatever. But it just doesn't work that way. They just decided to not let it be that way. Oh well. Halo area, we had some patches for Infinite, but the weekly was like a flag or something. It wasn't a nameplate. It was like a background. It was just an outline of a flag. So I couldn't be bothered to playing it at all. There was also a Halo Championship event where you could get skins and a pose if you watched some partners streaming it. And I didn't watch because last time the partners were complete jokes. Not even watching the event themselves, let alone even seem to know what Halo was. So, another great thing was that the skin you got was oddly similar to a gun skin you would get for level 152 in Halo 5. Now, I loved Halo 5, and I played the most out of that before PSO2 came out. Now, that's the most on my list. But when you get to 152, they were going to give you a special skin. And I thought it was going to be like a Spartan coating at the core. Of course, I didn't really realize it was what Spartan coatings were at the time. But now we have Spartan coatings, and I thought, okay, cool. Because Master Chief Collection, when you completed all the games on Legendary, you got a Helios Grill armor setup, which is really cool in Halo 5. So I thought they were going to give us a really cool armor or coating or something like that in Halo Infinite for getting 152, but it's just a lame, simple pistol skin, sidekick skin. And that's just even more kick in the space diaper. Way to go, 343. Apex Legends started its season 12 by bringing us back to a slightly unmodified Olympus. I honestly didn't really know what was different, but apparently the biggest difference is that we are floating above a city now. Before we were like way up in the clouds. I thought that was pretty cool. I was hoping for like a storm. I was hoping for like is it inclement weather? Inclement weather? Is that what the word is? Just bad lightning and high winds and stuff like that. Oh, that would have been cool. Lightning bolts crashing, winds blowing. So as you jump, it might kind of like push you away. So you got to be careful about being near the edges. It's worse at the edges of the map. God, that would have been so much better than whatever we got going on here. Sure, it's nice looking like we're over what, Coruscant? You know, Star Wars planet, you know, political planet with all those ships flying all over the place, or I don't know. There's like an area that that Mad Maggie supposedly messed up or whatever. It's just like stuff kind of like fused through. It's like clipping. They just did clipping all over the place and made everything glow white and blue. But I don't know. Maggie Maggie's a new character. Kind of didn't like her. She's kind of like she's like rough around all the edges, like they want to do to all the female characters now. Is all the female characters have to be like rough around all the edges, you know, like 80s action star guys. So it's nice, I guess, that women are starting to get their action star characters that everyone makes fun of. But she does have a pretty good tactical. It's like a little drill thing, and you can shoot it, and it makes like molten stuff come out the back ends. It's great for when people are trying to hide behind cover, you know, heal up a shield or whatever. That's pretty nice. Her ultimate is a little weird, but I don't know. You'll dual blade a ball out there, and you ripcord a ball out there, and it bounces off, and it does like a light explosion. Not really for damage. It can like push people out of the way, but it's been good to like knock people off of bridges is what I've seen. And as the ball is rolling, it drops these little devices on the ground to give you speed boost. So that's kind of weird. I did play her once because somebody took Fuse on my team in Control, which is the new mode. Control is a new mode, territory holding game style. The difference between this and other ones is that there's loadouts, loot drops fall from the sky, and weapon rarity evolves depending on how well you're doing, because you get like a rating thing at the bottom. It is a nice mode to have outside of the normal battle royale game mode. Because my biggest gripe with battle royale game modes is starting over and over and over again, because you're dropping and you don't get a gun, and then you get killed, and then you start all over. Or you drop and you find a gun, but you don't find anybody for like 20 minutes, and then you just instantly get killed. So it's nice to just like go out there and die a lot, you know? I'm just glad there's no life limits, because I don't really like life limits. Attrition, but attrition is not too bad. I have also been spending a lot of time with Dying Light 2, as that has come out, gifted to me by the great Rotten Al Grotten. It plays like the first one, but it is set 15 years after the incidents that first happened. Not the first game, but just like the incidents that started everything. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, like how I'm able to find anything at all of use anywhere after 15 years in a town that has been surviving there. Like I mean, you think everything would have been like already searched by now, but no, I can still just go to a random trash can out on the street and find scrap and stuff. I think also glitched a bit because of the zombies. The zombie enemies used to level up with me, and I started getting mad about that. I was like, oh, they're level 2 now, they're level 3, they're level 4. I hated that. I hate that that's like a design decision. Like I'm getting more powerful, okay, and I'm getting weapons that are that are better quality. Like, but why are the enemies also getting more difficult? Not even talking about the humans, but just the zombies. Like, why are these zombies that have just been out there in the sun for 15 years now all of a sudden getting stronger just because I'm getting stronger myself? It's a stupid design decision. But I think I glitched it out because they were already at level 4, and then I started doing the story missions after I met up with Hakan, and now everything went back down to level 2. So I'm out there. I mean, I'm killing volatiles with 2 hits, and I just started harvesting them at night. It has become my favorite thing to do now because I could still easily die. So there's some threat in there. But boy, just watching them come at me, and I'm just like throwing stuff at them and whacking them with my weapon, killing them, patting them down, and pulling out their unique coin, their unique pog. But my major problem with the game so far is Survivor Sense bug. The Survivor Sense bug. Let me repeat that slower. Survivor Sense bug. It's basically detective vision, or I know where you can just see points of interest in the room with you, and it's really valuable, especially because at the top of the screen there's a compass, and your points of interest are on the compass. But when you hit Survivor Sense, they show at eye level. It's like if they're in a building over here, okay? So if it was regular, it would be at the top up here, but you just have a general idea. But if you do Survivor Sense, it'd be like, okay, it's actually like right here at this building down here. Or if you're in a room surrounded by stuff, you could see the zombies that you haven't patted down yet to get their wallet, or items on the shelves that you could take. But the glitch tends to prevent you from even using it. Like it just won't work when you click it in. So I don't know. Some people said it was like a memory bug, a memory leak bug, and so it just stops working after a while. I found out if I shut the Xbox completely down and quit the quick resume for Dying Light, it tends to work, but it's only a temporary fix. But I've been enjoying it. Way too many hours in that game. Let's go on to sports, I guess. Super Bowl, or the big game, because apparently Super Bowl is like a trademark statement. And but you know what? When the stadiums and the teams use taxpayer money, I'll call it whatever the hell I feel like. Anyways, it was this Sunday, and I didn't really see it. I don't really see any of it because I don't really care about the Rams or the Bengals. But I did laugh because I came in like at like third quarter, half a third quarter area, and they showed Joe Burrow going into the stadium, and he was dressed like Seer. And you know what? It's funny because my mom watches sports. All right, so I'll come down and I'll watch whatever she's watching. Like while I'm making a sandwich or something, getting something to eat. And the sports people have been trying to make like a big deal about Joe Burrow, about him being the new Joe Cool, which of course I don't know who the hell that is, but apparently it was Joe Namath, and so they had like Joe Namath come out, and he was like in this uh, mink coat, and he tried to make him look cool. I'm sure he was cool when he was younger, but he was having trouble walking. Not the point. Not the point. The point was they're saying, oh, just because his name was cool, his name was Joe, and so he's going to be Joe Cool. Now, the only Joe Cool I know was Snoopy and the old Charlie Brown cartoon that they used to show. Rest in peace, Charlie Brown voice actor. But so it's funny. So you know what? They want Joe Burrow to be next to Joe Cool, and then what happens to him? He gets sacked at the end of the game, and he throws the ball away. When he gets sacked, he threw the ball, and honestly, if the guy caught the ball, it would have been amazing. It would have still been short of a first down, but it would have been an amazing play. But he got sacked again. He threw the ball away, and he threw away the whole Super Bowl. So way to go, Joe Burrow. The halftime show was okay. It sounded terrible though. The music was too loud, and the performers weren't loud enough. I don't. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just where I saw it, which was the official NFL channel on YouTube. But it just sounded terrible. Dr. Dre looked like a bloated mess, and he faked playing the piano. 50 Cent was, a nice surprise in more ways than just showing up. I had a good laugh because, but I had a good laugh like about the whole thing because this was a spectacle. This is a spectacle that gangster rap has become. They all want to be like hard, cool guys, and then just to see all the dancers out there and their gangster clothes, just dancing around, and it looked hilarious. It just looked hilarious. Like, but it's all nostalgia for the old people, right? It just looked hilarious. Like this is NWA because they came out with NWA and they showed how things were and how they had to deal with, and then now what they are. And then they threw a Kendrick Lamar shaped bone, and they're for the younger people. And Mary J. Blige was a singer, right? Also, and then this like controversy about Eminem not kneeling, but I swear I think somebody just made that up, and like it just exploded. It just seemed like Eminem wanted to, don't focus on me. Dr. Dre's doing his piano bit over here. I don't know what happened because when Eminem came out and Dr. Dre did the Forgot About Dre song, he was like buff. He was huge and muscles and everything like that. I know he went through a pretty bad divorce recently, so that might have been the case. I don't care about Snoop Dogg. I missed a lot of the commercials too, but there was one commercial I did see, and that was a commercial for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. It's showing off. It was showing off the giant Death Egg robot, which just looked amazing. It was and it was cool because they kind of like hinted at it, not really hinted at it, but Robotnik fired missiles at Sonic, and that's what happened in the first trailer. But like in this trailer, you actually saw where the missiles came from, so that was cool. There was also a Jurassic Park movie trailer. I don't know what the next Jurassic Park movie is called. I was supposed to actually look it up before. Jurassic Park. Is it just Jurassic World? Dominion, Jurassic World Dominion. It says 2011, 2021, but it comes out in June. Anyways, it looks good because it's a Jurassic movie, but it's kind of funny that they're bringing back people from the first movie again, which is nice again because of nostalgia, I suppose. But what is Dr. Grant, a paleontologist, and Jeff Goldblum supposed to do in this situation? They survived the nightmare that was the first park, and then they brought them back. I mean, again, it's the same situation with like the previous movies too. Jeff Goldblum came back, and he had a daughter that snuck aboard, and I'll go watch it still. Maybe in theaters, maybe not in theaters. And anime news, World of Liddell. I don't know about this one. It's another isekai anime where they get thrown into a game world and they can't get out. The main character, Kana, seems to be bedridden in a hospital when a power surge disconnects her from the real world. Okay, that's fine. But so is her body dead? Possibly because the power went out. That was like the first couple of seconds they showed. They show her with the VR thing on her face, and I guess if she's bedridden, it's good to have that on there because it gives somebody, gives people an escape. But it'd be nice if they were like able to say control a robot. What am I thinking of? There's a Bruce Willis movie. Bruce. Jeez. It's on my freaking tongue. Surrogates. That's funny. Two movies came up. Surrogates. Basically, they're able to control robots of themselves while they rest in a chamber safely, and that's kind of, I guess, a way to continue experiencing life, especially if you're bedridden like she was. Uh, so she dies in the hospital, but she ends up waking up at an inn set in the video game world 200 years from when she was initially playing the game. So, girl stuck in another world, which is another game, which is a game world, and she can't escape. Standard isekai setup. Overpowered protagonist causes everyone to drop their jaws when they perform simple tasks. Tasks simple for them. Okay, I've watched many of these over the last year or two, and it's just good to watch. It's just enough comfort to watch, you know. But what my main gripe is with this anime is that she has adopted kids in the game. She adopted these kids when she was alive, and 200 years later, they're still alive because they're elves and dwarf. Two elves and a dwarf she adopted. And they love her so much, which is really nice. I think that would be really great. You find out that you have some tie to this world, and they love you. They care about you. They are happy to see you. I think that's what everybody wants, right? And she treats them like trash, except her dwarf son. She treats him like a child, and she says Yoshi Yoshi and pets his head and stuff, and he obviously likes it, but because he's a kid, it's his mom, but he has that image to hold as a dwarf in public. But her daughter also has kids. She had twins, and she treats them just as bad too. So bad, in fact, that her great grandson doesn't even introduce himself as such because of how terrifying she is. Because she's like all powerful, and he doesn't. And her kids aren't as powerful as her, so she's just terrible. But she's nice to all the other characters in the world, and it's hard to watch at times because of what a terrible person she is to her own family that just love her. That's it. They just love her. They love her, and she's mean to them. But that's going to be it for me this week. A little longer than usual, kind of because I shoved 2 weeks in together. Kind of, I think the interesting stuff that I saw last week, I kind of put it in here. Jurassic Park trailer. Uh, Hopefully, I can get back to doing these once a week again, maybe. I am Ineedmorcowbell. This has been things that I find interesting this week. You guys take care of yourselves. My nose has been stuffy all this time.